and thank you for joining me for the Vampire Talk Show. I'm your host, Valaine. Val to my friends. My roommate discovered my coffin under the concrete floor of the basement in her new house and woke me up from a 100-year nap. Now I'm reconnecting with old friends, making new ones, and of course, making a podcast. We have a great show for you tonight, but first, I'd love to talk to you about something that I recently was pondering over the weekend. So, after a show, taking in a show, and having a late night, it is sometimes nice to go to a diner and, decompress. The diner that we could find after seeing an amazing show was Denny's. I know, not the best diner, not the greatest place. However, I will say this Denny's, the food apparently was amazing. That's what my roommate said. Anyway, one of the things that was at this Denny's, and I kid you not, was a robot that would carry food to the tables. So, it was like a tower robot, and they put trays on this robot, and then the robot would go to your table and drop off the food to you. I mean, it couldn't drop off the food to you. You would have to, grab your food, but there was a robot delivering food. And I overheard people a while back that they felt cheated because they were promised a future of flying cars and robots that did all the heavy lifting and everything. And now I say to them, you are living in the future, friend, because there are robots delivering food to your table. However, I will say, it's not the smartest robot, because while we were there, someone put food on this robot and then told it to go to where it was supposed to go. And it left. I watched it leave. And then it came back with the food still on it. And then, instead of the person saying, oh, well, I guess the robot isn't working, and grabbing the food, they sent the food back out on the robot. I watched this happen 3 times. 3 times they tried to have this robot deliver food, and it did not. And then, finally, they started piling all these plates onto a tray to go deliver this food. And I can only imagine that the person delivering the food probably got stopped by their boss, and their boss was like, you're supposed to let the robot do that. Well, I suppose they would if the robot would do its job. So maybe we're not quite living in the future. We're sort of living in the future. Or we're hopefully living in the future. Whatever the case may be. But we are certainly a long ways off from flying cars. That's for sure. Anyway, that was just a little story about my run-in with a robot at a Denny's. Man, the future is just quite so bright. Anyway, on with the show. My guest tonight is actually a son of a good friend of mine. He is the son of none other than the Loch Ness monster, Nessie. Please welcome to the show, Eustice.
Hello, welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. I know it's such a long ways off from Scotland, but I really appreciate you being in here. And Allie set up that little pool. Is it nice and cozy? Like, are you wet enough and everything?
I said cozy is probably a good word for it.
Yes, unfortunately, it is quite tight up here, up in the attic. But since you are the son of Nessie and not Nessie herself, you fit better than she ever would. So.
Oh, mother's quite large.
Yeah, indeed. How is your mother?
She's doing well.
Yes.
She's just she gets a little tired of having everybody after her constantly.
Yeah.
Gotta look every time she comes up for some fresh air. She's looking around, people with their cameras. They got these cell phones now. Everybody's got their camera. It's terrible. She's got to duck right back down. And the few times she sent me out, I've popped up from the lock, which we call it lock, you guys call it lake. Popped up there, beating the camera right out of their hands. Nobody's gonna believe them.
That is good. I love it when when she does that to people, and then they sound crazy when they say, "Oh yes, the Loch Ness monster just snatched my iPhone." So have you had any run-ins with any robots? I mean, I know they keep, putting what are those things called, ROVs underneath the water to look for your mother. Those are robots technically, I suppose, but not really AI robots.
They put them in the lock, but really, it's quite murky down there.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult for them to see anything, so really not hard for us to avoid them.
Mm-hmm.
What most people don't realize, we're not stuck in the lock. We can actually go out into the ocean. I did run into some, I thought it was a robot, turned out to not be. I was checking out the Titanic, and then there was a submersible coming down. Next thing you know, boom, gone. Felt kind of bad, but honestly, humans aren't really meant to be that deep.
No, no. If humans were meant to be down in the depths with giant sea creatures and whatnot, then they would be giant sea creatures themselves. And
I agree.
yeah, and they fool around with flight even though they don't have wings. Silly humans. Always.
A crazy bastard.
Can't they just leave anything alone? Can't they just let things have their own spaces? No, the humans just have to get their grubby little hands in everything, it seems.
No, apparently not. I mean, I was talking to Bigfoot recently.
Mm-hmm.
It complaining about the lack of forested areas. They're disappearing at an alarming rate.
Yeah, that they are. That they are. Yes, Bigfoot. Poor dears. Um, So you've been out in the oceans. Is there a favorite area? I mean, you went to the Titanic area. That must have been thrilling. Did you see any was it easy for you to go around and see the remnants of Titanic?
Yeah, it's easy to go down there. Just kind of check it out. Lots not much left at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously it's a wreck, but we'll go down, check it out. And you see the skeletons are kind of looking up at you, just be like, "Oh, don't you forget about me." And it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So I heard recently that your mother is kind of engaging in some sort of ransom with a gentleman's alligator. I don't know if you've heard this yet.
Oh, I don't know about this one. She's always up to some kind of shit, so I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
So, yes, on the last episode with Courtney Block, which hasn't come out during this recording, but will right before this one. So, the episode with Courtney Block, my gossip had to do with your mother. There was a gentleman whose alligator went missing, and what he did not know is that the alligator was kind of tired of being, an emotional support alligator, and went on vacation and went to Scotland, and Nessie nabbed him and kind of is holding him a ransom. I don't know why she would do such a thing, but apparently she has. I don't know. Is your mother well?
Well, I mean, you gotta think she's kind of ancient.
That's what I was thinking, yes.
We're in a big country, lovers are around, and she finds these things that take her fascination, and she kind of glums onto them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a strange thing that she has, and honestly, I'm not really sure I can get on behind it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's my mother.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do?
I mean, and honestly, I feel like she's done this gentleman a favor, because who has an emotional support alligator? Like, A dog I can understand, a cat I can understand. An alligator, not so much. It doesn't seem so warm and fuzzy and emotionally supportive, um, last I heard, I think there's a bit of Stockholm syndrome going on, and alligator has just kind of become your mother's emotional support alligator. So,
I'll
uh,
have to look into this. You know, there's been some issues with Baker Street, the sewers that flow under the lock, and sometimes, you know, the whole thing about alligators in the sewers,
mm-hmm.
perhaps it's something like that. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Either that or perhaps he took the morning train out to the lock. I don't know.
Yes, maybe that's it. You took the morning train. Um,
Well, you know, Sheena Easton, and you know, she's quite the star around these parts, and alligators love Sheena Easton.
oh, yes.
It's a known fact.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what the appeal is.
Oh, strange.
I know. Just, it's almost cultural at this point, you know?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you listen to the show or whatever, but my base is mostly humans, surprisingly. And so is there anything that you would like to say to humans that you don't normally get to because, the cryptids are kind of reclusive and don't really get to interact with humans much. So do you have anything that you wish to say?
I mean, I think the biggest thing I'd say to the humans is, you know, we're just trying to live our best lives over here. Uh, y you're a little overwhelming. I mean, you come in mass looking for us. You got your cameras, you got your drones, your boats. Constantly, there's where's Nessie? Where's Nessie? You know, they have a fake statue of her up on the shore. It gets a little tiring.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I'll tell you this one, like I would walk 500 miles and then I'd walk 500 more if I could stop the humans from coming to my shore.
That is such an interesting way to put it. That is that's beautiful. Was that a poem that you wrote yourself?
I think I came up with it myself. You know, I, it's funny. The other day, last week, pouring rain, and you know I'm only happy when it rains. And I was just writing some poetry, and it just kind of came out.
Let me ask you this because I feel like your mother is quite famous, and
Oh yes.
usually children of famous stars in the public eye kind of live in a non-real sort of world. I mean, take the Smiths, the Willow Smiths, and everything.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the band, the Smith. Oh, the Independence Day, one of my favorite films.
Oh yes, is it?
Oh, I love it when the ships come over and blow up all the humans.
Oh yes, I love the president's speech. It's like the Saint Crispin's Day speech in Henry V. Um, Wonderful film. So do you find that you might have been robbed of a natural sort of upbringing because your mother is so famous? And are you jealous of her fame? Do you wish that you were a sought after cryptid as much as she is?
Oh, I wouldn't change fins with my mother for a million fish. No. She has her fame. She does what she does. For me, I'm exceedingly happy about having my freedom.
Yes, you seem very very into having your freedom by the way you said it. Um So you're saying that people can take your picture, but they can't take your freedom?
I would say that's accurate.
I love it. Um, so for the humans that don't know, Loch Ness is in Scotland, is it not? Because I don't know if you know this, but humans are terrible with geography.
Oh yes, we're in Scotland. We got the castles. We got the fucking assholes with the prima nocta. Wanna fuck those pieces of shit up. I mean, I mean, honestly, I haven't really interacted in centuries.
Mm-hmm.
I stay down, keep my distance. I honestly don't know what's going on up in the shoreline there.
Mm. Yes. Well, I assume that it's not easy for you to get out because, I mean, you are kind of a miniature version of your mother. So do you ever get mistaken for your mother when you're out and about?
Oh, I've had my moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the problem is that some of the most delicious fish, the humans like to fish for them,
Mm.
and you kind of don't realize they're moving up, 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 up. I'm fall on them for a nice bite. Next thing you know, oh shit, I'm on camera. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it does happen on occasion.
Mm-hmm. Um, yes. So I think the last time that I saw your mother, and I know I keep bringing her up, and I know that it's you on my show.
No, I understand. She's quite the celebrity.
Yeah, she's larger than life. That is for sure. Um, but I think the last time that I saw her, I think she had just had you. So you were like a tiny, tiny little baby. And we had gone out to kind of like get her out because she had been home and just, been momming and that sort of thing. And we took her out on a wild sort of night. We went to Atlantis, actually. And that was.
Oh, so my mother told me the story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she had me. She was pregnant for a while.
Oh, yeah.
She was not happy by the end of it.
Yeah, she was pregnant, I think,
And
for 3 years, I think, was the
yes,
gestation. Yes. Oh.
and so she said, she looked at me. She said, "Eustace." I looked and I said, "Get out of my belly." And apparently it worked. I came out of her belly.
Better out than in, I suppose.
Well, yeah. Oh, yes, yes. If I had stayed in there, I mean,
Yeah.
who knows what would have happened there? I mean, she's a big girl to begin with.
Yes. Yes, she is. That's what we love about her. Have you been to Atlantis? Have you been able to go?
No, it's one of those weird things. My mother, she's like, it's kind of something she holds over my head.
Oh, really?
She's like, "Oh, Atlantis is so great." She's like, "Oh, you've never been there, right?" I'm like, "Oh, you never fucking told me where to go." I ask all the time. I've tried to eavesdrop. No, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
She won't let it. I mean, if you'd like to tell me where Atlantis is, I'd love to go.
I won't say it on air. Because and I was talking to Spectral Sybil about Atlantis on her show, and uh, we like to keep it kind of under wraps because it is a very nice vacation spot for people that don't get to vacation normally because everything has humans in it, and there's an underwater sun in Atlantis that I can actually be in. So when it comes to like tropical vacations, that's the only place that I can be in the sun and not burst into flames. It's wonderful.
Didn't even know about that. That sounds phenomenal.
It is. It's like just this weird like orb that hovers over the city, and and there's these, underwater beaches, and it's just absolutely wonderful.
How does that even work? Are there waves, tides?
Yes, I mean, have you ever seen SpongeBob SquarePants?
I'm not familiar with this Mr. SquarePants.
Well, it's this cartoon, and he's from this place called Bikini Bottom, and it's a beach town, and they do have an ocean of their own, and it is very similar to Atlantis, in that there's kind of a denser water on the bottom of the ocean, in Atlantis that kind of acts as like its own, ocean, little beach, and it's not, it's more of a loch, than a sea, it's more lake-like.
Sounds lovely.
Oh yes, it's great. And since I don't have to breathe, I don't need any apparatuses or anything that other cryptids need. I just don't breathe. So it's nice.
Oh, it is nice not to have to breathe the free air.
Yes.
I mean, I've got the gills, but
oh, you do?
obviously you've got your undead human, is it? I'm not 100% clear on the definition of a vampire.
Yes, I was speaking with other people about this recently. They weren't sure if I was alive or dead, and I said neither. I'm undead. So, yes, it's its own distinction. So, I am not dead because I am animated and I can think and eat and everything else. But nor am I alive because my heart doesn't beat and I don't breathe if I don't care to. And so undead is the distinction there. So, yes.
Oh, so you can breathe if you want to.
Yes. I can leave
so
my friends
why
behind.
would you want to do that? Is sucking all the pollution, the farts, the nasty air of the goddamn humans.
That's why I choose not to breathe most of the time. I only breathe
Understandable.
If I'm going incognito as a human, then of course I have to make a show of it. So then I will breathe, and I put on a little bit of makeup so I look a little bit more, not as pale, and that sort of thing.
You gotta come live down the bottom of the loch. It's
yes.
nice down here.
Yes.
You don't have to fake it for anyone.
Yes, I would like to actually go down to the bottom of the loch. That sounds lovely. I haven't been to Scotland.
The only one faking it down here is my girlfriend.
No. Oh my goodness. I had no idea you were seeing anybody.
She's quite an extra large carp.
An extra large carp. How wonderful.
She's quite the gal.
How long have you been going steady?
Oh, I've seen each other on and off for about a year. She's quite the giver.
Yes. Have you are wedding bells being heard in the distance? Are we thinking about, putting a ring on it?
Oh, the problem is mother.
Oh, no.
She's very traditional.
Yes.
She'd prefer me to find someone of my own kind. The issue is that it's only me and mother. Yes. I don't even know how she had me, to be perfectly honest.
That is a question I was going to ask, is who is your father? Have you talked to him? Have you met him?
Oh, mother, she won't talk about that.
Oh.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Interesting. There's a lot of cryptids that come on here that have daddy issues, it seems. I don't know if you know the Jersey Devil at all, but he also had some very peculiar issues with his father. I just see a thread running through, and it just makes me, interested. That's all.
That's kind of a common thread throughout all of life, really. I mean, I read some human books that fell down to the bottom of the loch, and yeah, daddy issues are quite common.
I would imagine so. Um, so your mother, she wants you to find someone of your own species, I suppose. But is she doing anything to the effect of finding you a mate?
No, mother doesn't do much nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of just she sits down the bottom of the loch. Um, she's really into some Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Somebody dropped something called an iPad and really just hooked on the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how the hell it's working down there. I mean, it's
Hmm.
deep as shit.
Yes. I wonder because I talked to Agatha the witch not too long ago, and she is from I think around Scotland. So maybe she has something to do with. She might have spelled it in some sort of charmed it in
Oh,
some way for her, which is
that would
very
make a lot
nice.
of sense if it
Yes.
was something bewitched.
Yes. It sounds like bewitchment to me.
But I'll tell you one thing, Agatha better get her ass back here, take the goddamn thing out, and get her Hulu or something different. Freaking Netflix. Oh, it's
Oh no.
terrible.
So does she just watch the same like four comfort shows and nothing new?
Yeah, she's just what the hell is she watching all the time? I don't even know. It's just some schlock garbage.
Yes. I mean, most television is, it's designed to be like, candy for the brain. So,
Oh no, you know what it is?
hmm.
It's Lost in Space.
Lots
It's
of.
not even the old one.
Oh,
It's the
no,
new one.
the new
There's only
one.
3 seasons. She watched it like 10,000 times at this point. It's all she watches Lost in Space. Like, what are you doing? Terrible.
That's an odd choice for her.
It
And
doesn't make any sense.
well, it's not very good.
No, it's awful.
Which is
I
interesting
told her
because
you're gonna watch the stupid Stranger Things at least.
oh
That's a
yeah.
decent show.
Yeah, that's on Netflix. Um wow. Yes. You'd think that she'd watch stuff that was like, underwater stuff like The Abyss or Sphere or
Oh no, she doesn't like that kind of stuff.
mm,
Who's a Attenborough guy? She hates that guy. I was like, oh, planet Earth. Look, you
yeah.
can see other things around the Earth. They're not humans. No, doesn't like it. Hates the guy's voice. I was like, he got a beautiful voice. You sit, you relax. It's like a meditation. No, no, not at all. Not a fan.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, I mean, she is kind of retired, so, yeah, she can watch the things that are, not great cinema, and enjoy
I
it.
suppose.
Yes. But, I mean, I'm glad that she has some sort of entertainment down there because I know that she has to stay down there, quite a lot. So, you know, um, at least she has something that she's doing. So, uh,
Yeah, she's quote unquote busy.
yes. All moms are busy when their adult children call them, it seems. Um, but it's okay. We forgive them because they brought us into this world, right?
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Yeah. Well, my friend, thank you so much for being on the show. But now we're going to get into some paranormal gossip. For paranormal gossip, there was a video going around about fish raining from the sky. And everybody thought it was so weird. And it was weird. And I can tell you where it came from because I am in the know always because I am the gossip columnist of the ages. So, In India, fish was falling from the sky. It was caught on video. However, the fish were not intended for the humans that were flabbergasted. Unfortunately, that was a shipment that a bunch of aliens were trying to drop off to the Yeti that was in a nearby forested area. However, the Yeti actually gave the wrong coordinates on his satellite phone, and the UFOs, unfortunately, dropped the fish in front of a bunch of humans. Now, no worries. The Yeti did not go hungry. He was actually able to place another order and was refunded for the fish snafu, basically, that the aliens did. So this was just a matter of basically a DoorDash order gone awry. So no worries, humans. It's not the end of times. It is simply, aliens are still getting used to the whole Grubhub thing. So no worries there. Have you ever ordered any food from aliens before?
I haven't, but I do feel you missed a golden opportunity here. You're talking about the fish. Yet he didn't miss out on an opportunity for dinner. You know what I'm saying here?
I do know it, just
I can't help it with the dad jokes.
I know.
I don't have a dad, so I've got to make my own jokes. I suppose you call them Eustice jokes.
Does that bring you comfort to make dad jokes in the absence of having a father?
That's the only thing that brings me comfort, if we're being honest.
Oh, I'm not laughing at your plight. I'm laughing at the jokes. Oh my
Laughing
goodness.
with me.
Yes, never at you. If you have a bit of gossip, a misconnection, or a personal sad to share with the show, please email thevampiretalkshow@gmail.com or slide into my DMs on Twitter, Facebook, Insta, or TikTok. Thank you. So thank you, Eustice, for being on the show. Please give my best to your mother. And I hope you come back, and maybe we'll have a bigger pool by then.
I hope so. Although it was quite cozy.
Yes. Well, that's all for the show tonight, kiddies. And remember, embrace the dark, the strange, and unusual. It just may embrace you back. Thanks to Tom McKivergan for being our guest today. Please consider becoming a Patreon member of the show. You can be a Baby Bat Sticker Club member where you get stickers every month, or you can be a Tarot Speakeasy member where you can get a tarot reading and tarot cards sent to you every month. Please subscribe on patreon.com/thevampiretalkshow. This has been an Opus Nox Media production. To find out more, go to opusnoxmedia.com.